Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Essentials.tf. We're back in the Premiership division. It's week number 5 already. Oh, how time flies. And there's still 2 more games left of this week, and one of them will be happening right here and now. Garda against Danish Tyrant regime in that battle for those last couple of remaining playoff spots. As the division's sort of evening itself out now, we're sort of getting a grasp of where the teams are falling, and these two teams are in the running for perhaps sneaking in that 4th spot. And it should be a good game coming up ahead of us now. We've got J Max in the production, myself, Ben Platt on cast, and we've got Jake joining me. How are you doing on this fine Thursday evening?
It's awesome, man. I'm feeling so good. Like, everything is coming up Millhouse. We got like an amazing land coming up in a few weeks in Germany, so I'm hoping everyone tunes into that one. But tonight we have a great game here between DTR, Danish Tyrant regime, and Garda Panteri. You know, like, it's two teams. One of them, I was looking up a little bit of stats, doing a bit of research. I'm not going to comment here too much, but I've been doing some research, and yeah, like, seems that both teams kind of struggling this season. A little bit.
Yeah, it's a weird one because, like you said, Danish Tyrant regime in particular, they've only won one map this season, and as we can see from the pick ban, they picked Sunshine. That is the map that they beat Samakot on 3-0 back earlier in the season. But yeah, it's not been a stellar start really for either of these teams. Garda as well. They had a win against Forfence, who, to be honest, I don't know. In my head, I had them as coming as one of the top seeds, but Garda managed to win an absolutely brutal double golden cap in that one. But yeah, maybe not gone exactly the way they were hoping for. But with, like, I don't know, the teams are so close together, and there's still a few weeks left. I still think, I don't know, with the results perhaps turning in their favor, like, I think either of these can maybe sneak in that final spot.
I agree. I mean, I watched DTR play, I think it was Samakot, right, on Sunshine and on Snakewater, those two maps. So they definitely have them researched way more than Bagel or Gollywash. And of course, Process also being banned at the end. I mean, pick and choose, pick and ban phase is always good. That's the way it goes. And same thing. It just started on Sunshine and it ended on Snakewater. So I'm really curious what do DTR manage to pull this game. But at the same time, with Garda being basically in Prem for a long time now, they're looking to get some blood out of this, especially that they have a higher spot and higher chance to actually getting to like the top 3, top 2 than DTR. DTR kind of trailing the band.
There is one thing with Garda, though. There's one thing that I don't know, in the past few seasons from watching quite a few Garda games, what I've learned is that no matter what you think going into a game, no matter what the league standing is saying, no matter what the map picks are, no matter what mercs are involved, or anything of the sort, every Garda game is a 50-50. Like it or not, it is literally the toss of a coin what Garda team shows up and whether they can win. They can beat anyone on their day, but they can also lose to anyone. And like, this is a game, like, obviously you look at the table, right? You think, oh, Danish Tyrant regime, they're bottom of the table, they've won one map all season. Like, I don't know, this could still go either way. Like, let it be known, especially on Sunshine, a map that we've seen Garda struggle on both in previous seasons and on this one too. Like, this really is not a given at all that Garda could be taking this. Of course, the seeding would suggest so, but I don't know. I've learned to not trust at this point.
It always kind of depends on what the team is like. I'm feeling at this moment of time, because you have those 3 important things: teamwork, individual skill, and then just motivation to play the day of. So we're going to see how it goes as we're getting ready to just go with this game, week 5, Garda and DTR, Danish Tyrant regime. As both teams are in spawn right now, and we're going to be looking at the rollout here. Davey, who is firing shots at me for last time, mispronouncing his name. And then we're looking at Jan and Shappy, quite aggressive here, actually much faster here by Davey, but here the blue team here, DTR, very much condensed here on the side, keeping together, surrounding Seeger. Let's see how it pans out.
Davey caught, and Jorn's potentially going to come in behind from Cafe too. This is looking very, very gnarly now for the Danish Tyrant regime side, as Jorn's going to waddle in with these rockets, going to try and get up a nice one going up there on the top as well. But actually, these players over in the red are getting juggled around. They're also low HP. Shappy down to 5 as the chase is on towards this choke. Can they keep the last couple of lives? Theos alive for now. Am's there trying to spam into this choke with the pistol. Oh, not going to manage to get it so far, but is going to retreat out to safety. But that is a big, big win for Garda, as they now have a big, big Uber ad.
Absolutely. They kept their demo alive. Yalen's also alive, protecting the medic, and they have that Uber charge. They're going to move through the side here, through the kitchen area. Shappy already putting up some stakes, making sure that no one's there, but no one's there to protect the second point. Looks like DTR deciding to protect the last point here, setting up the sentry gun already, amps on level 2, and they're not gonna let this one go for free, but that Uber charge is gonna probably be quite big if they manage to pop it in time. They should be moving quite fast now.
Yeah, absolutely. We see them taking the low, but they're getting ready to pop in from this top right as Dispenser down already. That's always a good thing to push off. Bomb comes in. Are they going to get onto this gun? I don't think it's been spotted yet. It takes a long, long time for that gun to go down, but Peter DC drops in the meantime. 5v6 temporarily in this post. Uber, but Shappy getting caught out, but at the cost of 3. There's so much cap time coming through, and I don't think the blue players are going to be able to score to point in time, and they are not. Danish Tyrant regime 1-0 down. What a push from Garda.
But yeah, that was absolutely surgical. That first middle here, where they managed to basically wipe the enemy team, Amp surviving by the skin of his teeth. He really tried to get medic down. Didn't quite manage to, but he did survive, went back to his team. It didn't quite work out for them because that uber disadvantage that DTR had was just too big. Like, it's just nothing they could do about this situation. And Guard are playing really well. They didn't try to jump in immediately and try to go for picks. They stuck around Theos and then basically cleaned up the house. But now, round 2, Ben, let's see what happens.
Yeah, see if they go for something similar over on the Danish Tyrant regime side, because last time it didn't work out too well. It's a lot more aggressive though, with PCDC and Nikki both jumping in very, very far in behind. Now the collapse is on, but who is getting collapsed on really? It might just be Danish Tyrant regime. They are getting absolutely munched on in the death corner. Am's last alive is not going to be long for this world either. The scouts clean that one up. Shappy already trapping the spawn. Oh dear me, it's not looking good.
Am I watching a replay from the last round? Because I feel like the same exact thing happened. It's just this time around, Garda managing to keep alive quite a few more players, and they're already on last. Second hasn't been even capped yet. Now we can see Juxta just sitting on the second, finishing it off. Uber's going to be an advantage for Garda as well. Only 20% on Seeger. It's not really looking too bright for them right now for DTR. Nicky's in a good position, but with that Uber charge coming out very early, a lot of players getting flashed here. Shappy and Yalin pushing in, taking down the sentry gun, chasing down Davey as well. Nicky and Smile on the point with Peter DC. Seeger is just staying in the background. A lot of players are sticking together around Theos, healing up everyone, but the losing players left, right, center, only 2 players alive. Amp is and Seeger still alive. Seeger no HP, but it's gonna be the end for them, and Garda with a second point of the name.
That's the punishment you get when the demo man goes down so early. They focus that kill onto Davey so early in that push that there's no sticks to go on it, and that means if there's no sticks to put the point, it's gonna have to be warm bodies, and there's only 5 other players that can stand on it. At the end, of course, we saw Nunkies, and then we saw Ams there just diving in just to try and delay for long enough, but that Uber charge was nowhere near coming through for Danish Tyrant regime. And again, 2 for 2 on these Uber ad pushes, and 2 for 2 on these massive mid wins over from Garda. But less than like 4 minutes in this game, but they're only 2 rounds up. What is this?
Yeah, Shappy's already on middle as well. It's the 3rd time he's faster than Davey. Jumping in is Peter DC on the flank, getting juggled a little bit. Juxta here having a bit of a scrap up top, but takes down Nicky without too much of a problem. And once again, Garda just simply brute forcing their way through this middle point. This time around, however, DTR is playing a little bit more safe. They're backing off after losing 2 players, and they're still getting hammered down on by Garda team here. Still almost fully charged for Theos, but Seeger this time around, that's a big difference. He's gonna be able to maintain his Uber and might actually save them last point. Let's see.
Yeah, it was a good retreat there over from the Danish Tyrant regime. Yes, they have lost mid and they have lost second, but at least they have their own Uber to get set up with, and they can perhaps get for this deal. But actually, there's scouts running in already. There's all these players barreling in. Yorn and Yalin both so deep, but they're not going to get too much reward. Just the 2 soldiers going down over the blue side. Maybe some more license to pressure in now, with the gun still getting rebuilt. And Blood's actually just going to waddle in too. Maybe some... Oh, Am's nice headshot is going to quell that one.
Yeah, Amps on the sniper is quite dangerous. He already took a headshot or one headshot, pot shot into Shappy. But it's not gonna, the entire Garda team is just backing away right now. They are not going to risk this one. They also have Yalin on sniper to try to counter-snipe this one and open up that sight line, but it's gonna be a bit of a stalemate for a little while. Both teams a little bit too afraid, but this time, you know, DTR in a bit of a more precarious spot, but that gives Smile a lot of time to build up that sentry gun. It's going to be quite big should the Uber come out. Jan is peeking through below here, trying to get some pot shots in. Level 2 sentry gun finally going to get destroyed, but not without a price here. Bud goes down.
1 for 1 though. PCDC's gone down as well. Maybe there is room to pressure him with his gun still getting rebuilt, as Ams is going to try and lock down this far left in the potential SVS against Yarlin. In the meantime though, Yorn has gone in against that sentry gun. Perhaps a little bit aggressive there, getting caught out by the level 1 gun, and now that's going to slow things down. Spawners are going to be able to come in from both these sides, and Ams wins the SVS there up in top left of the lobby. But he's getting walked on kind of rooted there by a Shappy. If they're just trading 1 for 1, this is one of the weirdest stalemates I've seen in quite a long time. It's constant 1 for 1s. They haven't really slowed down, but no one's really getting anywhere either this whole time.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, it looks like Garda is just kind of happy to park the bus for a little while. They're leading by 2 points. They're not really in a rush. They can play it safe. They can play it comfortably. DTR needs to kind of figure out a solution out of this situation here. A lot of kind of poke damage being done. I mean, Jan below from the basement trying to put some pot shots as well, but no purchase yet. Seeger and Theos both sticking on those Uber charges. It's basically just a game of nerves, and the longer it lasts, the more nervous those teams are going to become, especially the medics. Yalen still sticks on the sniper, so is Amps, and we'll see. Maybe it's a sniper shot is gonna win this one. Gonna tip the scales a little bit.
It's a hard one though, Sunshine, when you're trying to snipe in these choke points. That they're so small and they're like there's so many safe places. As we see Seeger now currently just sat behind this pillar. It's like practically unspammable from most of these angles, so the sniper is probably more looking for perhaps picking to a soldier, perhaps even a pick onto a demo will be the absolute golden one to get, but Ams is going to find that one frag over onto Dux, and again they're just trading up one for one, perfect timing, but the bomb has actually managed to come in. The soldier has slipped all the way through, but nearly gets no-scoped out of the round there by Ams. As I thought Seeger was in a bit of trouble there, as the gun wasn't really covering behind this pillar too well, but getting swept up, and again, there's the players trading back and forth. It's a really dynamic stalemate, to be quite honest.
Yeah, now it's DTR who have the player advantage, getting nice shot there onto Shappy. Amps goes down, but that's okay. They have the classes they need to push this in to the second point. There's still quite a few players alive around the second point, but Uber is getting forced out of Theos. He needs to use this one, and of course, Seeger responds with his own. Looks like here, Justice trying to get to the last point, but that sentry gun's still alive. Is not going to be able to get to the point at all. And now with that advantage and having the good positioning here, they should be able to reclaim this second point, DTR.
He's going to still be hard, though. Bud's already chasing him with the pickaxe out there over onto Seeger. Not quite going to manage to make that one work, but look at these low HP bars over on the red side. And yes, like you say, there is potential to push out, but they lost their own demo now over on Danish Tyrant regime. Ams is going to run in and try to get some damage off. Gets the kill over onto Shappy. PCDC's in there as well. Actually, they're cleaning up on DTR, but the rest of the team is nowhere to be found. Nicky and Davey were still in the respawn queue, and losing both AMS and PCDC there means that they're all the way back where it all started, on their own last point. And actually, they're now a couple of players down, so if there's early pressure coming in, maybe it could work wonders over from Garda. But again, there's 45 seconds left in this stalemate, and we haven't had a stalemate. This is odd.
Yeah, this has been lasting for quite a while, and either team will actually have to just do something, otherwise we're just going to reset completely this round, and we're going to go back to square one. DTR on the back foot here, but they're playing quite smart. They're not really risking it too much. Of course, the timer is running out, but they still have a lot of time in this game. They don't have to rush at the end, yet they don't have to make any more mistakes that will give Garda even more points. So Seeger playing quite defensively and quite well. Uber's coming out very early, though, out of the side there. Theos is flashing Shappy. Justa coming in. The sentry goes down. Justa's trying to get a lot of time on this point, but Counter Uber's coming out on point. No one's going to be able to touch this now. They just try to get this Uber out.
Yeah, it's a good idea coming in for the trade, but the trade didn't quite get all of its objectives. It was such a late use there from DTR. They're like, even if they're going to try and re-aggress there, I know Juke's going for some cap time, which is about all you can really go for there, but it was never really going to work for them over on Guard. They had to get a little bit more in that trade, and yeah, back to mid. I guess it's mission success for DTR. I know that it's weird to say that they are 2 rounds down, but hanging on like that is a good one for them. But they've got to get back into these mids. These last mids have been pretty much a disaster. That last one, they survived with most of their players, but they did get locked out of mid to start with, let that be known. So we'll see if they're going to try anything different for mid fight number 4, as it's been 3 for 3 so far for Garda.
Yeah, here Davey once again going to mid. This time around, they're around the same time with Shappy, putting some sticks on the other on their side. Bit of pot shot damage being done. Davies quite low, however. Seeger needs to help him out a little bit in the choke point there. Amps once again quite aggressive. Peter to see in the back. Oh, looking for the medic, looking for Theos. He does get him though. Well, that's huge right now because Seeger stays alive. Only 2 players up for the blue team, but they're going to be able to stay alive and maybe reset this one. And a little bit of trouble here, Seeger in the back line, but Bud gets cleaned up by Davey. Quite nicely done here by DTR. Yeah,
really nice air pipe at the end there from Davey. I really thought that the DTR combo were in so much trouble when I saw Yawn bombing in too earlier on, but the combo were just doing so much damage to these bombing soldiers that they weren't able to get in at all. We saw Shappy very, very late death as well on this mid, and finally we see DTR getting an advantage in this game. They've captured the mid, Theos died, Shappy is a long, long way from being in this round, so now they're going to walk forward. They're going to try and get into second, and preferably for their sake, if they can get in without having to use this Uber on Seeger, it's so much better for them. But I'm not sure that the Garda team are too keen on letting that happen. They're poking in for a bit, they're trying to spam, try and threaten some aggression, but with no demo, it's so tough. And they are going to have to concede that. As Theos, 70%, there's a timer on this. If DTR want to go in, and they are just going to go.
Yeah, they're going in, the Uber's coming out, they have the advantage, they're trying to put some bodies on the point right now, but everyone's getting flashed, and no timer's getting on. Here comes Yalan with the Pyro, pushing everyone away from the point. They're losing players left, right, and center here. Ampy, Smile, and Nikki going down, thanks to Juxta. Juxta just coming out with a heavy and cleans up shop like nobody's business, and is able to protect this point. However, the timer is quite
What is this on second?
forward.
What am I watching? Oh my, Bud, how do you live? That is crazy. Crazy that Bud's allowed to live there. Gets out, does the dance with Davey and with Seeger, but is going to be retreating off. Second point capped up, so defense success. And in the meantime, quietly, Theos just lived. So Theos now has about a 40% Uberad, and it's a 40% Uberad. They are very, very keen on walking in. Got nowhere there on the sniper, trying to peek in through choke, trying to get some shots away, but getting chased down very aggressively there from Yawn. Is now going to have to concede another point, and DTR, from what was a great mid-win, what was a great advantage, they're now on their own second in another stalemate.
Yeah, once again, we're gonna have some trenches dug up here. I don't think either team is gonna try to risk this one. I mean, Peter DC here having a bit of a scuffle with Yawn in the garden, but that's about it. There's a few sticks flying from Shappy onto the second, but not really finding any purchase yet. Both teams quite healthy as well. Both teams at full Uber charge. I mean, it's just gonna take one or two picks maybe to kind of tip the scales once again and maybe try to make a move in either direction. I mean, this still could be anyone's. Like, that's kind of what you said before, right? Like, they can Garda can kind of pull this weird thing where it's 50-50% chance. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Right now, the coin's flipping in their favor. So let's see if it happens. Yawn coming in.
Big shots.
I get stopped, but that was very brave and commendable, I think.
Yeah, they can be sometimes a little bit awkward when the soldiers bomb behind the big tower on the Sunshine second, because visibility's not too great on the like defending side, but it doesn't matter. Still hitting the air shot regardless. I didn't quite catch exactly who it was. I believe it was one of the soldiers over on the DTR side. But look, that's the thing is, these single stacks are basically no risk, but they're going in as well. That's maybe slightly higher risk because Yawn isn't here yet either. Am's going to charge in as Nikki is taken down, and this is actually turning into a bit of a brawl in front of this cafe with Smile. They're getting chased out by Juxta, who is committed very, very deep. Is going to just get out alive, I believe, unless PCDC has something to say about it. No. He's actually going to go behind into lobby, and this is a real disaster now for DTR. There's players behind potential, there's players chasing down. Dave is a late death in dungeon, and oh my, there's only 3 players up, and there's no demo.
Yeah, that's not going to be very good for them. I mean, they do have the Uber charge. They are coming out with Smile and Heavy, so they're going to be able to kind of delay this and stall as long as they can, but they need that demo man to kind of lock down those sidelines. Seems that Garda's trying to poke their way in a little bit. They should have probably used that advantage that they had, maybe try to get a player or two down, but they're content with just sticking around behind and waiting it out a little bit longer. I mean, they are leading by 2 points, so they're not really in a rush to do anything. They're just kind of waiting for DTR to make the first mistake.
Yeah, it was a good effort, like the pressure in there, but like objective one has to be to try and get that overcharge force over Seeger, and they did try. They pressured in a bit, but with a Heavy right there on the spawn door with the medic, there's got to be something else to drag that Heavy with. Maybe some cap time, maybe some more pressure towards the spawn. It just wasn't quite committed enough. And like I say, I respect it. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to perhaps have their own Uber forced out early. They don't want to drop too many players because yes, they are 2 rounds up, and they're the ones completely in the driving seat in this team over on Garda. But it was an opportunity for them if they could have got something going there.
Yeah, they could have probably, you know, they don't have anything to lose really. Even if they lose 1 round, it's not that bad. But they're playing pretty damn well this time around, and they're just happy and content to just play it safe this time and sticking together. You can see Nikki's getting picked up by Yawn in the dungeon there, and Yawn's getting picked up by the sentry thanks to Smile. So, you know, a bit of an exchange, you know, 1 for 1, maybe 2 for 1. It seems that it's now the disadvantage is Garda. They're pushing all the way back to their own second. They do have Yalan on Sniper, so he's locking down the shutter. And I don't think anyone's going to peek through that one. They're going to be able to see that Sniper. Peter DC picks up one in the lobby area. He's still alive somehow. Great play. Maybe managed to slow it down a little bit, but nah, it looks like Theos is ready to go right now on the side.
These stalemates are so strange. I'm so confused right now because there's so many players on both these teams just taking fights in lobby all the time. No one's fearing really when it comes to these lobby players, and they just constantly going 140, it's constantly going even, but the thing is, if one of these trades goes badly, for example, if DTR lose 2 players at once, which I guess they kind of have done now with both their soldiers going down, things can spiral out of control very, very quickly. Bud is the one to waddle in, and Seagate so weak, has to force out, and exactly on that moment the 2 soldiers were caught out, and Bud able to waddle in, just able to get that last lick of damage over onto the DTR medic, and the Uber charge is forced out, and that's the risk to playing it so far forward in these chokes when you're on your own last. And now the Uber charge comes in over on the red side, and is it more of a formality? Are they going to try and bomb us at this point, try and block this for as long as they can over on DTR? It's going to be a hard fight. They're dropping some players already. Demoman down. There's this re-aggression now with these low HPs on the point. There's already some cap time as well. I do not have high hopes now for DTR to hang on to this one, and Shappy is the one walking forward onto the point. 2 players left on the defense. Am's doing exactly what he can, just trying to block, and Seeger as well, but they're all going to fall, and again 3-0 Garda. They are just running away with this one.
Yeah, they're just basically have that teamwork on lock in this entire game. You know, they're not really making any mistakes, and I think that's kind of the big difference here between them and DTR. DTR is, you know, they're not playing bad at all by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that they do take some decisions and picks where that loses them players every once in a while, and that is kind of the cue for Garda to just start pushing in, gaining some ground, maybe try to get some more damage on, maybe pick up another kill, and that opens up the opportunity, the window, to kind of push in and maybe even force that medic, which really won them that last round. But we're back to middle here. Shappy once again, the same exact spot. They do pick up here.
Oh, they're all caught.
Davey Yallen, that's great.
They're all just caught in death corner though. This is such rough positioning now over from the blue side. Look at them getting absolutely munched on. Ams is so weak. These scouts are just going to run in, and Seagate last alive. He's going to have to run away on 100 HP and just decides to kill bind, because what's better there to do? Yallen is on the chase, and there is no hope at all. That was, again, such a fast mid from Garda. They're just straight onto the height, straight spamming down the flank. Double 2 players committing through their own cafe. Yes, they got some ground in onto mid, but when your combo can't really get out of Valley for the entire mid, it's always going to end in disaster. And again, Garda with this, that's the second time we've seen that now, with this complete control with double soldier spam down there onto that low ground, and it's so hard to get in there. And DTR, they're punished for it. 3 rounds down, they're already facing another Uber Dissad. This could be 4-0, because we've seen Garda with these time and time again so far this game.
Yeah, and DTR usually tries to go for some picks. I mean, you can see Nicky in a good position, but here comes the bomb of the Uber Charge. They're not waiting any longer. They don't have to. They have the Uber Charge. They're just kind of trying to force the enemy team into the spawn area. Great play, but they're losing Shappy and Yon here, taking a few more picks. Theos is picking up Nicky here on the side, but there's 3v2 right now, and looks like that Uber advantage was well mentioned, well intentioned, but nah, it's just not gonna work out here. I think pushing them all the way to spawn, allowing them to get the reset was just kind of a big mistake. They should have just tried to go for the kills, but DTR played well, managed to defend themselves, maybe even grab that second point, basically for free. I mean, Yallen is still staying far forward. That's quite brave. Shappy just joined, but Uber's coming out. No, they're going to try to chase down the medic, and Theo's in a lot of trouble right now. Peter DC taking some damage onto Theo's one rocket. He doesn't have any loaded. Yallen's working him down, but he does get the kill, and then Theo's goes down. That's huge, and Seeger stays alive. Only Yallen alive on the side of Garda.
That was absolutely crazy. That fight could have gone about 10 different ways. In the meantime, there was 2 soldiers from Garda fighting the entire team inside the lobby, trying to go for a back cab attempt. They dragged so many players back, but like you say, the players were just about there from the rest of the DTR team. They were able to win out that fighting cafe, get that all-important kill over onto Theos, and have earned themselves a bit of an advantage. But what does the advantage mean when they're down a demo, and they're now down a scout as well, and a soldier? What is going on? They're crumbling over on DTR. They're going to have to run out underneath, and what is this Uber? There's no one to beam.
Oh, that's so bad. Seeker is just pulling right now to spawn, but he's going to be caught off guard here by Yon. It's a great play, and he comes, and his soldier just basically full-on wipe. Second point has been capped. There's only Theos on the point now. It's just joined by his team. It's 4-0. That bandits.
That's so brutal. Like, it was going so well, and literally in the span of about 3 seconds, they lost what? 4 people?
Yeah. I
think it was, I don't know, everyone just dropping like flies, and yeah, I know there were people trying to retreat in the meantime, but it's just so hard hanging on without a demo there, and Garda, they're just so keen to be aggressive. If they see no demo, they think, right, it's our advantage, even though for Uber Dissad, we know that Seeger doesn't have an Uber charge to use, so is it really Dissad even? We can just walk straight in, and we can take all the ground and get all the kills for that as well, with a full wipe coming through, and again, 4-0 down, 9 minutes left to play, technically still time, but there's going to have to be a massive turnaround now if DTR are to get back in this game, and it's going to have to start with a big mid win here as they're trying to burst their way out from Valley, but they're also spread out. Nicky's so weak, 2 players down already. I think Garda might be winning out this one too.
I hear Yalin just kind of chasing everyone down. He's playing incredibly well. He has got that survivability. He's able to kind of get out of situations that surely would have killed just about anyone else. And it's really paying off for Garda with that kind of flank going on forward and buying ground basically for free without the help of the medic. That's huge. And also just really great plays all around. But now middle has been taken by Garda. Second's been taken for free from DTR. Down to the last point is DTR. They have the Uber charge. They are building their sentry gun, so they're going to be able to kind of delay this. But seeing how Garda is playing so far, I don't think it's going to really work out. They should be just happy with parking the bus and just waiting for DTR to make a mistake. They're in no rush whatsoever at this point with 4 points up.
Yeah, they can chill. They can wait for the time they want. But as we've seen so far, like there hasn't really been much chilling when it comes to these last points. There's been lots of fighting and lots of boxing. Lots of trading occurring, and it seems like it's more of the same now as Yalin is going to be jumping in from this far left-hand side, going one-to-one trading out with P2DC. So now does that open up the doors? It does. Bo's just going to bomb in and try and get in onto Seeger, who actually gets the kill themselves with the arrows. So 2 picks for 1 means that Garda, they're going to have to back up for a little bit, but I'm sure it's not going to be for too long because they're getting their spawners in, and they're once again getting Yalin up on the sniper. And yeah, you see, you've got the time to work with. You may as well try and play for these picks. And Yalin's done a decent job so far, so why not go for it again?
Yeah, Amps is a little bit stuck on the Pyro, playing quite defensively. It's going to help him on the defense, but not so much on the offense when it's time to re-push after getting a few picks. Garda playing quite defensively. They're in the lobby, but a little bit behind the shutters. Theos trying to stay alive and not take any pot shots unnecessarily. A bit of a scuffle there on the sideline, but here comes the headshot from Yalin onto Davey. That's huge. That opens up the whole sideline. Now Bud is moving in, putting some rockets onto the sentry gun. It's going to be a bit of a problem. Amps trying to protect it as best as he can, but it's just simply not going to work out. Now Peter DC looking for a yawn here on the below. He does take him down, but not without a life of his own. Scuffle going left, right, and center. That middle point, or that point is just completely unprotected. Amps finally getting onto the point right now, but Bud's coming in. He's putting a lot of rockets. Uber's coming out from both sides just about the same time. A lot of sharing onto the blue team. They're going to run out of Uber much faster, but they're able to stabilize the situation just a little bit, Ben.
How on earth did they manage to hang on in that situation on DTR? There is still fight left in them, but they might have to fight for just a bit longer now as the soldiers still aggressing, still trying to bomb in from the Garda side. And we see Yorn trying to get out. No, he's not quite able to do it. 3v2, we've seen these situations before. Ams is feeling hungry and he's feeling like a chase is on. Wins the fight onto Yarlin, goes into Theos, is going to get the kill onto the medic. Also, great play from Ams and DTR. Even though, yes, there's no time to get back in this game, they're showing us what they're capable of. Great hold. I thought for 10 times in a row Seeker was going down there in the midst of that, or at least getting forced, but they hung on, and they hung on so well. In particular, those soldiers, PTC and Nicky doing great work, but now they're still going to hold on for even longer. Yorn bombing in, and that is a big kill over onto Seeger. That bomb behind the back of the pillar, landing straight in the medic's face, and all the hard work, it's for basically nothing.
That's absolutely huge. And Yawn, look at Yawn's position right now. He's hiding behind the shutter. I don't think that DTR knows about his position. He can just kind of take his time and basically spawn camp Seeger once again once he spawns. He's waiting for Seeger. Look at this. Seeger has no idea.
No
he
way.
has absolutely no idea. Yawn's coming in. One rocket in. Seeger now realizes he's in a lot of trouble.
Dear.
He goes down back to spawn queue. That is just cruel at this point, Ben.
It was already going to be a 50 yard, now it's going to be a 100 yard, and Garda, they're even winning fights on mid too as PCDC's gone down, and yeah, the rest of this team is crumbling at the seams from DTR. They're all the way back to last, they're waiting for the spawners to get in, second point getting capped up, all the players, all the gang are here over for Garda as then Ams maybe trying to block for a second. Nope, not going to manage to get any funny business there on that one. Just going to be a later spawner for this one. Theos once more going to be using it from their tried and tested top right push. Gun taken down very quickly, and with one less player to hold onto this one from the defensive side, it's going to be so much harder for DTR to hang on. And they're not going to. 5-0. What a crushing win.
Bit of a wash here, isn't it, Ben? It's a little bit disappointing to see a game end up so quick because it was an incredibly entertaining game, and DTR had plenty of opportunities to kind of push this in their favor. It's just they were never able to push Garda even back to their last point. They just could not find a single opportunity for like any sort of sideline, any sort of gap in the defense for themselves to buy themselves some kind of ground. It just wouldn't work. They couldn't push through, and Garda just playing incredibly well. I mean, surgical precision almost. And if you're playing against an opponent like that, there is only so much you can do at the moment. It's just so much. And Garda being together for quite a while now, they're playing in Prem, with different squads and all, other than what they have right now. They have changed a few players, but they know their synergies, they know their teamwork, they practice together for a long time. And I feel like this time around, it's just skill, technique, and a little bit of luck mixed in.
Yeah, it was a great performance there. And I don't know, I've in the past, I'll admit I've been critical of some of these Garda, particularly on Sunshine. There's been some I don't know, not particularly illuminating clips of Garda struggling to push last on Sunshine, especially with you, Brad. But this time it was completely clean. Every single time they were so confident in it. Was so well coordinated, like you say. And maybe it's clicking. Maybe these pushes, these players, that the synergy, like you said, like the core of this team has played together for 5 seasons at this point at least. And yeah, it's just all clicking perfectly. It's great to see. And yeah, on the other
You
side,
can see. Yeah, you can see on the logs even, like, it kind of spells out the whole story, right? Like, numbers being numbers and all that. But flank from Garda, Yalin, Juxta, 24-23 kills themselves. Jan with 20 kills himself. It's just like absolutely crushing in terms of advantage. They were just wiping the enemy flank a lot. I mean, Amps and Smile didn't really lag behind too much with 17-18 on themselves, but Yalin with 7,000 damage. He's almost topped Shappy. I think he only is missing like, 25 damage. That's like a sneeze worth in terms of like topping the damage charts. And that's just insane how well, like, I was observing Yalin this entire game. Like, the guy was just going 2v1 winning. So
yeah,
how do you deal with a player?
Yalin's an absolute beast.
How do you deal with a player like this?
It's crazy. It's so hard with a map like Sunshine as well. And like we saw on these mids, just like cleaning up absolutely everything. And yeah, that was like, yeah, it was one of those things. Obviously, with the 5-0, like you can't really pinpoint onto like one specific thing. Oh, like if DTR had just done this better, just done this better, or whatever. But like I don't know, it felt like everywhere, like there's this constant cohesion, this constant all the players turning up on the day, like you say with Yarlin. And yeah, we saw as well Yorn have some great moments too. Like I think. Yeah, when it's their day, like I said, this Ghana team, they can beat anyone. They can beat absolutely anyone. Like, do not let it be. They're like 6th in the div, I think, at this point, or like they're down near the bottom. But like that is a complete illusion of the skill of Garda. They're a better team than that suggests. It's just consistency has been an issue for them in the past, but maybe they're finding it, because that was a really good performance, and they're looking to back it up on their own map pick now over on Snakewater.
Yeah, I mean, speaking historically, like what you're saying is completely true. I mean, I'm taking a look at some of the history of their games. I mean, they won 6-0 against Skeda. They won 6-0 against Global Yeli last season. They lost against Mandem, but Mandem is currently topping the charts as far as I remember.
Mandem beat everyone.
so it's it's a bit of a toss-up, and maybe that Schrodinger's Garda is going to pull through, and maybe they can pull off an upset this season. But so far, we're still in this game. DTR can still net themselves 3 points, similarly to how it went 2 weeks ago. So we'll see if they're able to pull this one off. I believe what happened, the mirror match essentially, was DTR losing on their own map, but winning on the enemy map. And this is basically the same exact situation. So we'll see if DTR manages to pull up a surprise here against Garda. But seeing how Garda plays so far, they probably are riding the coattails of their hype and motivation and adrenaline from the last game. It's gonna be quite difficult with Juxta and Yalin and Jan just on the flank constantly. Amps and the crew are gonna have a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, but I know on a map like Snake, these mid fights, it's a very different vibe on a Snake mid to a Sunshine mid we saw before. They were like basically getting collapsed and almost locked out of the mid. You don't see that happening as often on Snake. Like it's a lot more of these nowadays. You're seeing a lot more of these slower paced mids. A lot of these like will wait a little bit, wait for the double bomb and some damage. Like it's not as much of a crushing thing if your mids aren't as up to standard. Because we saw on Sunshine, honestly, like Garda were they were so much quicker. They were able to take all of that hype for free pretty much at the start of these mids, and they were just absolutely crunching. But this time, I think it might be a bit harder on Snakewater. But the other thing is, of course, with it being like a double bomb centric mid, is that if these bombs come through, we saw Yorn and Bud have some great time all over the map last time. They can really cause some chaos. As yeah, honestly, on Snake, some say the easiest way to win around it is just to have a big run in the mid fight. So, maybe that could be the important bit.
We will see. You know, it all depends if the soldiers manage to get their bunny hops on just the right way, the wall jumps. But we're ready to start this one. This is round 2, Garda versus DTR, Danish Tyrant regime. First map has gone to the way of Garda, and now DTR will be looking to equalize. We're getting ready to go here on the middle. Let's look at the rollouts, and I think Shappy just so criminally offensive here, so fast in the middle. Coming in, the rest of the team right now supporting him, not really fighting too much damage on the enemy team, but jumping in, this huge double bomb by Jan and Bob, taking so much damage to take down the medic. That is insane. Look at the cooperation. I am ecstatic. I'm done, man.
They didn't just hit on the medic, they hit on everyone. Like, I don't know, that bomb did like 700 damage between them. That was absolutely massive. Like, that's the thing, is they're just a tiny bit faster. You see them both just fly into the skybox, and you're like, right, we know how this mid's going now then. And yet, like, Sega did have a good serve. Like, Sega did exactly what they could to try and hang on there, but it just wasn't enough. And like we see everyone getting absolutely demolished there on that mid-fight. PTDC is caught behind trying to escape through Saw, but I'm sure everyone's aware of this one. Going to try and escape through Cheese, maybe? Shappy is potentially looking in to stop this. No, PTDC gets out alive. That's a pretty decent win for the defending team over on DTR, but they're still going to hang on. And this Uber charge is coming in so fast. Sega's so far away from an Uber charge of their own as the Uber's used it.
Yeah, that sentry is getting focused immediately, taken down by Shappy. Now Jan's on the point, but it's going to get blown up by Peter. Huge play from the behind. Bud is now on the point. Spot trying to defend this one. Picking up Jockster as well, Abs. And then now Theos and Shappy, the only players alive on the side of Garda, running away. They're hauling back to second point. They have no one else to help them out. Shappy's trying to take out as much damage as possible for his medic, but now Theos is all by himself, 25%. Uber is not going to be done, and now Smile picks him up. And that is it. The second point is going to have to be capped quite quick. Bud is moving in forward, looking for a pick maybe, but no, he's not going to be able to get anything done with the entire DTR team. Perfectly played. I mean, considering the disadvantage, you mistakes here. Yeah,
and they deny Shappy as well on this forward spawn, so Shappy's going to be spawning only back on second. He's only just able to arrive in lower and just is not a factor at all in this fight. So that means they get the midpoint for free without having to use. And look at the advantage. Theos died so late. This is still 70 ad, let it be known. And the second point is getting capped up. They can get another point for free here if they really want to go for it. And it seems that they're already in from Saw. Big airshot there from Bud though over onto Nikki, but dies as a result of it. As now the push is just on. They want to go. And DTR, they're charging down into lobby. Shappy getting caught out too. Two players down now for this Uber charge. Second point getting capped up too. DTR might be in a good spot here. They're going to try and get some cap time already. This Uber from Theos is still a long way away. They've really got to hang on Garda.
Now he's just going to be down to DM. Going on the point right now is Nikki getting cleaned up. No, he's still alive. Bud is going to go down here. Nikki's still alive, getting on the point. They do manage to pick it and put it over to 1-0 for DTR, causing a little bit of an upset for Garda, but wow. And all of that was off the back of their last point defense. Can you imagine, Ben?
That's crazy. Literally a minute and a half ago, we were saying, oh, well, that's it, Garda. They've got a big Uber out. They're going to walk in. Looking great for them. And yes, some clutch plays in their own last, following down with getting that chase onto Theos and onto Shappy. Both late spawners, both denied the spawn to try and defend mid. And it just completely snowballs. Great Uber there from Ams in through lobby 2, catching out so much damage, catching that important kill onto Shappy 2 in lobby. And they're able to run it through. They're able to snowball it. The flank comes in well. But now we're back to another mid-fight where Garda succeeded last time. And again, they're going in for these two soldiers high off the top left, but this time it seems that Sega is more aware of the possibility. Bud already taken down. Yorn is actually behind in Saw, going to be a thorn in the backside here for the rest of the DTR team, but it's 2 for 2 on the trades. Oh, but Davey gets caught, so that might be the end of this one now for DTR. They're going to have to leave.
Yeah, they are currently just on the back foot. They're running away after the second point. They're going to be able to maintain the Uber difference quite well. They're going to have to wait for some few spawns, though, and they're going to come all the way from last point, so it's going to cost them crucial time. Nikki's jumping in, but it's just not going to be enough, and he's going to get too much damage on him before he manages to survive. Seeger now popping the Uber charge. They really want to defend this one. Uber's not coming out of Theos, but getting forced out. Well done here by Amps. Now they have to run away using that scout quick run. Seeger's in a lot of trouble, but he does run away. He is no junior at this, and he just managed to get away. What a play. But the second point's going to fall down, I think. Bud's huge jump here, trying to take down Davey. Going on to Nikki as well, having a bit of a MGE between the two soldiers, but
there's two players
comes out. No, Davey, no. What's the point? No, Peter,
what is this? Oh, it's crazy.
I was so enamored by the MG that was happening on the sideline. I didn't observe that everyone else just died on the point. And Garda's like, well, we're just gonna pick it up then. Like, nobody here.
Yeah, like, yeah, that's absolutely madness. It was a complete dry fight, and honestly, like, I thought once Seagull got out and once they got Davey out alive, I thought they were gonna hang on there over on over on the defending side on DTR, and yeah, they just don't manage to hang on. They lost all their aim jewels apart from the one that we saw with Bud, and now we're straight back to the mid-fight. 5 minutes gone. We're already 2 rounds into this one too. Another game playing along at lightning pace as these bombs again from Garda. They're flying in high and they're landing straight towards Seeger, who is taken down again.
Oh, I love those bombs by Bud and Jan. These are absolutely a sight to behold, and you can never expect just the way they will strafe in the air and where to shoot. How do you even manage this? I mean, Seeger just has to stay all the way behind, but that means the middle point is going to be taken away. But look at this. Even though they moved in Garda, only Bud is alive, and Bud is all by himself behind enemy lines. It's just 2 scouts on the point. They're going to be able to get this cap. They're a bit afraid, though. Smile has no HP, but Amp's still alive. Bud's coming in, maybe looking for the scout pickup, but no, he's not going to be able to do anything about this situation. 2 scouts versus 1 soldier is just, it's going to be quite difficult, but middle point goes the way to DTR. I mean, they managed to get the DM going. Both medics went down in the last fight, too, so Ubers are just about equal. With the middle point up for DTR, they get the forward spawn, and they're just going to be able to walk this one into second much more easy.
Yeah, especially because those spawners come up on the second point rather than the last point for DTR, means they get so much more space and they're getting their players onto mid so much faster. And yeah, even though Bud was a late death, is going to be here for the defense. And yeah, with PCC not there either, they're going to have to stall this one. They got control of mid, and they've got the Ubers evened out roughly at least. So that's somewhat of a win from DTR. But now is where this gets hard, because people talk about the Snake last stalemate. The Snake's second stalemate is also potentially not an easy one to break into. There's a couple of options with regards to soldier bombs, but it's potentially a tough one, as we see Juxter and Yarlin just sat on this height over on these this little fence in front of point. It's so tough to break, so hard to bomb in. And Nikki just decides, you know what, I'm going to go the complete opposite direction. I'm going to go straight from Shees and bypass these 2 soldiers. A nice little air shot there as well over onto Bud, who is taken down as PTDC into the skybox 2. The commitment is in, and the commitment is over onto Theos. As the bomb comes behind, Nikki gets the kill.
Called it, Ben. You called it, that cheese play from Nikki. I mean, the team was kind of distracted. Their huge bomb, huge distraction, managed to pick it up, but however, it's not going to be enough. Like, Just and Jan just cleaning up shop here, and now Seeger is running away with Davey as fast as they can. Josta is on their track right now, looking at Peter DC, having a bit of a scuffle, but he's going to elect to not do that. Go back to middle, finish off the cap, get the team together first. But that was huge. I mean, huge pickup on the medic, but it's just not going to be enough if if the whole team dies around you. You do have the advantage, only 25%. But, you lost your team and you lost the chance of getting second, so it's not going to work out. But they're kind of trying to equalize. Look at this. They're pushing on to second already, and middle's not even capped.
They're so aggressive here. I absolutely love this. I absolutely love the speed that both these teams are playing with. And again, there's no signs of slowing down at all. As Yarlin's getting caught out. Nikki up on the high ground, trying to deny the space over towards Catwalk, and it's working out wonders. Bud getting directed twice by Nikki there, and there's already aggression from Ams into lobby 2, trying to get it onto Theos. This series, like, we're playing 2 of, like, historically some of the most stalematey maps, and there's, like, been no messing at all. It's been constant aggression, constant W key being held, and again, we see over on DTR's side, they come out on top.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving these soldier pendulum compilation-backed plays here. Like, huge bombs, amazing aim, getting down those crucial damage, very well coordinated, using the soldiers to their absolute best advantage here on Snakewater, and it's working out for, well, basically both teams. This time around, though, it's DTR who are coming out on top. They have the Uber charge, but so does Theos now, and now Ampsons is on the sniper. He's quite known for kind of switching the class to the sniper, seeing if they can get a pick here, but I'm pretty sure the guard already knows about the situation. Theos is holding down in the little dip there. So he's going to be staying safe and sound, protected by the sentry and his entire team. So once again, a bit of a stalemate, but I don't think DTR is going to wait too long. They're getting ready to push through the shutter here.
Yeah, trying to open this for Ams, who's going to have one shot with this sniper rifle and does just hit the body shot there over onto Yawn. It's one frag. It's a very important one too. One less soldier to block onto these choke points. And the kill on the down man too. Shappy falls. And now Theos is potentially in peril. The spam comes over the top. Davey trying to get onto this gun that is somehow still alive. Juxta just diligently whacking the wrench onto that gun. It finally goes down. But they're getting the spawners in a couple of seconds. This has to be so quick from DTR if they're going to commit in.
Yeah, Nicky getting quite a lot of damage on him. Seeger is waiting for the team to get together. Behind was Peter DC, but he's gonna get picked up here. And Yalin finally going down. That's no medic. The medic pops the Ubercharge on the point. They're running around now. It's just only Smile being able to be flashed here, but they're not gonna be able to get any damage done on the enemy team. They do get 3 players down, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough to get that last bit in, to get that second point in this round. And Shappy this time just locking down the lobby area. No one's going to be able to push in with him locking it. And then most of Garda team now respawn and healthy. They're going to push on the second point with just Nicky and Seeger.
Look at Ams, this little ratty spot behind the crate, sees onto the rest of the team, but does not manage to land the all-important shot. But Nicky might be landing it instead, has got it onto Theos, and Theos lives on 36 HP. Oh, it was crazy stuff, but actually, the use comes in eventually from Theos. The threat of the sniper was just too much to bear over for the Garda medic finally. But 3 players living, the pendulum continues back and forth across the middle of this map. And again, we're seeing DTR, they're going to have to retreat off, but they're going to have such a big advantage. Players getting denied forward spawns is a pretty big deal in terms of slowing down this aggression, because Seeger would want to go pretty quickly. They're 10% away from their Uber charge. But they're going to have to wait just a little bit longer for Ams and PTDC to get in for this fight. But Bud is not going to be waiting at all and hurling himself in.
Yeah, Bud is just coming in, getting that health back quite crucial. Seeger catches a rocket for his trouble.
2 rockets.
Just respawn, getting picked up by Shappy. And that's 1 down for the side of DTR. Bud's coming in back again down to Davey, and Seeger electing to pop the Ubercharge to save his teammates from dying. Smile now picking up his soldier, moving it forward. How? Was that a drop?
I'll admit, I was too busy watching the Ubercharge. I did not have a clue how Theos got involved in that, and how on earth is Seeger living for this? Down to 15 HP, 2 huge rockets coming in from Yawn, but not quite enough to get that final lick of damage to bring Seeger into the grave. And now Garda, they're going to have to retreat off this second point. They've not quite got enough cap time as the reinforcements are here from DTR. Their medic is here, they're building up, they're getting their spawners in, and maybe they can try and stabilize. But Garda, they're not going to let them do this. Davey's only just spawning in. There is time to play with here. And I can see Bud already peeking you through this top of lobby, trying to get ready to bomb in. And they want to go already.
Yeah, Nicky's huge bomb in, kind of blocking Bud from doing his own bomb there on the side. And both teams still alive. No one's down for the count just yet. Looks like they're gonna push through the saw here. DTR, they have the Uber charge. They have 20%. They're electing to pop immediately. Coming in, Nicky, huge far forward play, picking up some damage onto Bud, but he's gonna fall down. Apps cleaning up after him and taking down Yawn. Joshta also down, but Theos has an Uber charge of his own. He's pushing in with Shappy. Yalin's also on the offensive, picking up Peter. That's huge. They're pushing in. Uber charge has still not gone out from Theos. Apps on the back line though. He's gonna try to force out Theos, but no, he's still holding on to it. He is still moving forward. They have 3 players alive with the medic. They just got the respawns. They got the middle. They're pushing on to second. That's looking huge, man.
Diamond hands from Theos, absolutely fantastic stuff. Down to about, what is it, 50 or 60 HP there when Ams was running in, just didn't fear at all, trusted the teammates perfectly. Oh, and the traps, oh, I thought for a moment I was going to be cut off in the midst of that with Theos going down to the traps. I saw the traps, I was, oh my. It was, fortunately for them, only Bud that goes down. But I say that, if that slows them down, maybe perhaps Seeger's getting an Uber charger, because the Seeger's already at 75%. There is a world where Seeger gets, and that trap kill might have actually just cancelled the push completely, because they're having to wait. They can't go in without one of their soldiers, and they're just going to have to chill on second. And we might finally get a second to breathe.
They do need Yalin and Bud to come back and reunite with the rest of the team, but Yalin picking up Sniper this time. He's going to be playing a bit more slow, but those picks here kind of managed to open up those sight lines. I think Amp's going to switch to Sniper as well. Yeah, he smells it. He knows there's going to be Sniper v Sniper looking down those sight lines. Bud's on the flank here, looking in, seeing someone here, Davey. But Davey's going to be having none of that, putting a few sticks there. He's just going to lock it down completely, that flank. But, ooh, it's looking quite nice.
Oh,
no, that's huge!
What? Oh, Bud winning out the fight under Davey is so massive. No demo makes it so hard to hang on to this right-hand side. Gun taken down twice there by the sticks over the top from Shappy as Ams is doing whatever he can to try and delay this push in. The soldiers bombing up high. Nikki as well trying to get in, but actually it's Yorn, the one that they should be watching out for, because Yorn comes in all the way behind with a big force there over onto Seeger, and that is 100% mission accomplished for the red side guard. They're going to walk in immediately. They don't care about their spawners. They don't care about getting their players up because they want the kill and they want it now. They're already onto the point, trying to get in. Shappy's so weak though, and the rest of these players, they're going to have to try and collapse in on this. But Yarlin, Juxta, they're there for the kills, and they are there to clean up the round.
Yeah, once that force came out, Ben, that was basically all she wrote. I mean, Seeger getting forced. I mean, he popped just the last moment here. He really tried to hold out as long as he could, but there was an air shot coming at him. He was in the air. He had to pop this supercharge, save himself, save the rest of the team. But that also meant that Theos is just gonna happily wait this one out and then just push with the rest of this team. It's just no problem whatsoever for them. And now Garda leading this charge with 2-1. Now we're back to middle once again. 15 minutes left on the clock for this round here. Let's see who takes this one home. A huge bomb here by Nikki, coming in aggressively, putting the rocket into Theos. Theos quite low. Smile is trying to take him down. He does get him, and that's huge. That's no medic for Garda. They do have all the players, however, but Seeger stays alive, getting escorted by Amps, and gonna go run all the way back. Seeger's still getting chased. Look how aggressive this scout is. Oh no, Juxta is chasing Seeger. Solo HP. He's trying to... Oh!
Saved by the Banny Bind. I was about to say, oh, it's a classic 4-man sack on mid. No, that was a 5-man because Ams saw blood in lobby and got a little bit distracted away from the combo, and I thought for a moment that Juxta was getting in there and getting on to the medic, but not quite going to manage it. Seeger just about lives. My heart's in my mouth. This game is crazy. Like, Seeger, this is absolute madness.
Yeah, Seeger is... This kid is going to give me a heart attack with the plays. I thought he's done for, but he manages to survive with swapping weapons. That's crazy. That's so good. But yeah, they're still alive. They have the Ubercharge. They popped it quite early. They're a bit afraid of the sticky trap that was there. And now Shappy is all the way by himself. He's going to get picked up here by Nikki. Great play. They're picking up a few more. Shappy Bud going down to Nikki and Peter. That's huge. Only one player up for the red team here. Yawn by himself all the way behind. Lockdown. He does pick up Peter first trouble. But that means the entire Garda team is wiped. Seeger popping that Ubercharge and getting another advantage into his favor. Capping the middle point. That just could not look any better for DTR for this round.
Yeah, it was a bold play there. When the Ubercharge comes in from lower, the call from Garda of, even though we're disad, we're just going to like run into Soar and hope for the best and maybe try and go for some kind of flank. It's a bold play. Like, it's a low percentage play, but I respect it, right? And given the state of this game so far, like at 100%, I should be expecting things like that to happen. But if they get absolutely crunched on, they get the high percentage chance of the push just failing completely, and now they're getting punished because they're all the way back on their own last now, and it's still a bit of an Uber ad for Ams and for Seeger, and they want to go in so aggressive. They're creeping in. They want to go on this. They want to pop so far in, trying to take this double scout chariot up to the point they use so late into this point. Yarl and Shappy both taken down. Budweek as well. This might just be enough.
Yeah, that is enough. Absolute smile on the point, just getting that 4 times on it, and they're just gonna wrap this one up. I think it was a great decision. It was a great decision. I mean, yeah, they only had a soldier and 2 scouts to work with. Seeger had a 100% Uber charge in tow. You know, they said, like, what are we waiting for? Like, we can wait another 3 minutes and waste time, or just risk it. Like, what's the worst that can happen at this point? And I think it was a great play because I don't think Garda expected that.
No, absolutely fantastic stuff. And yeah, when you're playing with fine margins, Uber charge like that, those like double scout Ubers, like when you can at least sneak in as well, like it was great stealth play, I've got to say, from the combo. They snuck all the way into that little platform, got all the way up and then popped right in their face. It's such a long Uber once you're there that round was only going one way. So great play from DTR to get themselves back in the game. But they've got to run the mid fight to come up, and their last major they committed very hard into Theos, but paid 5 players for it. And this time it seems a bit more sedate on their side.
Yeah, they're playing a bit more safe, but they do take down Nikki by Juxta, equalizing here on Bud, and now going in is Juxta, trying to pick up Amps and Seeger. Seeger's low HP, they're trying to get escorted. Now it's looking really dicey, only 2 of them alive. They're chasing them down is Juxta, Yalan, and Shappy. They're not letting up, they're still running away. Here, Yalan, oh, and Seeger once again stays alive. them. I can't.
Oh, what
man.
is this? This is crazy
Who's
stuff.
gonna pay my medical bill at this point?
Yeah, this is. Oh, my heart rate is through the roof. This is utter nonsense. But the big difference, right? This time, okay, it was like a 4v2, but Theos was part of the 4, able to be there, buffing all the players, flinging forward with them. But now they're actually in a bit of trouble here over on the Garda side. They've lost their demo, and they have had to use out their Uber charge on grass. It's going to be a much better Uber though for the red team. Siega going to try and get out to lobby, but he's not going to succeed. But at the cost of how many players? Yawn very weak. Smile in behind onto the combo. Theos weak too. Nikki bombing in also, and it is an absolute bloodbath on the grass. And Garda, despite having the better Uber, despite getting there onto Siega, that's the only frag they find in the entire skirmish.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the HP of all the players, and every single player on DTR's team was about 50 HP. So it was as close as it could get, but it was just that one rocket, one meat shot missing from actually getting the job done. Nikki quite far forward, looking to get some pickups, but I think just electing to go back to his team, get those buffs, and wait this one out. Play it safe, as they say, and I think it's going to be played quite safe by Siega and his team.
Until they get the crits up, that is. Because I don't know, I'm thinking like this game has been like, I don't know, when we think, you know, even Uber situations coming up, Siega has decided, you know what, we're going to throw a wrench into the works instantly, and we are going to come up with the crits, hitting 98%. Going to be Davey taking this one in, getting ready for the big sticky bomb. The crits are popped, the sticky bomb is in, and oh, it doesn't seem to land much so far. Shappy goes down, the bomb's coming in, Bud goes down finally to a crit sticky, but Theos is still alive and well, but as he's getting chased down by Davey, who's got the pipes out, but Theos is dancing, ducking, diving, weaving all the way around the rock, and actually just somehow staying alive all of this time. Siega last up might just be kill binding at this point. All the scouts are chasing, and that was a bit of a disaster of a crits coming in. I love the idea when it was roughly even Ubers, but just didn't quite work out for them. Nikki gonna bomb in and not quite get enough onto Theos, who I swear has spent the last minute on 50 HP and is somehow just still living. I don't understand at this point, but what a hold from Garda. They're winning midpoint, they're holding on to their own second, and they're going to walk further forward because so many forward spawns get denied here.
Yeah, I mean, Theos surviving is huge. 100% Uber charge on their side is going to be very big in the coming fight here. And of course, like, Theos cannot even believe himself he managed to survive that one. The entire DTR team was on him, and he managed to live this one down. And now he is going to go on the point. They're pushing quite aggressively. Uber's coming out on Yalin right now. He's trying to chase down Peter. Peter is having a bit of a luck there with Jux, that hot shot. He's jumping on the point, but he's not going to survive. Everyone else getting cleaned up on the point. It's just going to be a textbook execution with an Uber advantage. I mean, there's not much DTR can do about this. The disadvantage is just too great. They were missing a few players there as well. I mean, it just wasn't really going to work out for them. Now 3-2 for Garda. 7 minutes and some change left on the clock, man. It still could be tie here overall.
Oh, absolutely. Like DTR, they've had so many good chances. Let it be known, like they were like on the precipice of just about getting that crits to work in under second, and then we could be in an entirely different scenario. But now, here we are, 3-2 down, 7.5 minutes left to play, so still plenty of time to get back into this game from DTR. The best way to start that would be with a win on these mid-fights that have honestly not gone too great for them in the last few. It seems like Garda have figured it out in terms of keeping their players alive and trying to get this chase onto Siega, who's been running back to last, tail between legs the last couple of times. And they're going to slow things down a little bit here on Garda. They're not going for this like super aggressive bomb. They're trying to take space top left, but so far it seems like DTR are the ones winning out the battle for space, as they're the ones waddling over the height.
Yeah, Amps and Nikki on top with Smile backing them up. They're just kind of like locking this one down. Yon and Bud are kind of in the back, looking for a good opportunity to bomb. No one's really dying yet, but Peter DC is quite low HP. Amps and Smile still putting a lot of damage to Bud and Yon. Yon's jumping in. He's looking for the kill. He does get Nikki. Huge shot there. He's coming in. He's almost getting the health back, but is not going to be able to. Amps there to stop it in his tracks. No, Bud's coming in as support, putting a lot of damage on the Smash. Smash low HP, but he's gonna get that heals up by Siega. Siega is still quite aggressive. He's not really taking too much damage there. I don't think Garda is really focusing him. They're looking for the TDM here that is happening. Yalin gets picked up by Peter, and he's gonna get killed. So it's like 1 for 1, punch for punch, eye for an eye in this middle fight. And the middle point still hasn't really been touched.
This is the longest mid I've ever seen until that moment. Bud straight in, big drop there onto Siega, was completely unknown. Bombs in from lower. The scout is there to just about do a bit of damage, but not gonna do enough. And there we have it. The mid drags on for so long. I believe they were on the midpoint itself for about a minute and a half there, but it's all settled. I thought it was gonna be settled with an Uber trade and a retreat perhaps. because as you say, it was blow for blow, 1 for 1 all the time with these trades. But when a medic goes down, that changes the complexion of things entirely. Seeger sent back to the respawn queue on 0% Uber. Garda taking the second point, massive advantage, and we've just seen them convert around like this with such a big advantage. They're feeling good. 5.5 minutes left. They might be able to seal the deal here and now.
Almost getting Bud off guard here, Davey, with a sticky trap, but Bud does survive, and now they're pushing through the shutters. They're not waiting any longer. Yalin and Shappy leading the charge. They do remove Bud, but coming in is Yawn, spawn killing here with Smile, and then now Abs is on the back line. He's taking down Yawn. Now Theos is all by himself. It's only Shappy and just on the, but Abs is still alive. This man is still alive. How is he still dancing circles around the enemy team? Now joined by Nikki. They clean up shop, and now Theos does survive. He does get out, but DTR hangs on in this one.
And the thing is, they hang on, and it's almost like a blessing, the fact that Seeger's so far away from Uber, because they never tempted in that post fight to like pop a force out, because I thought that was really dicey. I thought that point was getting capped at any moment, but wasn't to be. And Seeger doesn't have the Uber to use, doesn't use it, now has a bit of an advantage if they want to push on it. Theos has been building so hard, though. There won't be much of it left by the time they get in onto mid, and I'm really aware of that. They seem to walk in very aggressively now. Gonna try and run in through bats. Big bomb in from Davey. Gonna try and land with the carpet bomb over towards Saw, but it's not gonna get anything. Everyone is able to get out alive from Garda. What a retreat that is. And they're just gonna be able to re-aggress now with their own Uber.
Yeah, that's it was a good effort, but kind of lacked on the execution. I think Garda just played really well defensively. They're using those choke points to their advantage, and now they are playing the cards. The cards are in their favor. Nicky's jumping in, looking for a kill, but his Bud is going to come out on top on this one. Abs is also coming in. He's going to get picked up. Another one for him. Now he's coming in. Seeger is very far forward. He only has Davey to support him. Smile, though.
Wait, Smile got it. Smile got the back up.
Oh, that's
this whole time, that is absolute madness. I was sort of watching it, I was like, maybe there's a chance, and then Smile gets that all-important kill at the end, and that might be round saving, quite literally, because from a situation where perhaps they're going to lose their own second over on DTR, they now, Garda have to recap mid, they're now a player down on Bud, and Seeger is 10% away from having an Uber.
It's actually crazy. I mean, I'm looking at this game and all I can think of is like, you're just looking at DTR being the protagonist and Garda being the Elden Ring boss. It's like they managed to just roll around. They're using some weird spells to kind of manage to kind of get this one done. Smile playing excellently. I'm even losing my words. On the second point, getting that backup, slowing Garda down. Very crucial play there because Seeger now is able to get that 100%. Equalize with Theos. Absolutely massive. He should really be commended and should be pat on the back for this one. But now it's a bit of a statement once again. 3 minutes left on the clock. DTR still down 1 point. They can still equalize this one. So we'll see how this one goes. But they're peeking out through the choke point and through the saw. Abs is taking a lot of damage there.
This forward spawn play from Nikki is so weird. It's not every day you see someone coming out of the mid forward spawn when you don't own mid. But eventually are going to go for it there over on Nikki, but not get much value out of it at all. The Supercharger's traded out. Smile taken down in the post. Bud already in behind on the PCDC with Yarlin as well, and Bud going to bomb it even further forward as well, going to try and cut off these players in the retreat as Yawn in there too, but they have to hang on now over on the DTR side. They're 2 minutes left, they cannot afford to retreat any further. They have to stay in, they have to fight to the death, and Shappy is potentially there over onto Seeger. It's so awkward. Shappy is living, and so is Seeger. What?
Well, Shappy's still alive. How he's still alive? Peter having a bit of trouble there picking him up, but he managed to clean up shop. And Shappy definitely lived longer than he should have. But Peter does finish the job there, and Seeger does survive. That's going to be quite big, because both medics are roughly equal Ubers. You know, the second one hasn't been really finished, so they're just pushing in. Yawn is jumping in. They're going to get pushed out by Smile. Scouts from DTR are really controlling the top area is huge for them because they're blocking the soldiers from just freely bombing their medic, and they're pushing in. They just got their Uber charge, and they're unafraid. They're just going straight in there. Just want to get some damage, get some players here.
Yelling
down. And now Ab's getting an Uber, and a lot of shares coming down on Theos. Nicky's staying behind. He's trying to wait this one out. A lot of shares coming out of Theos. Now jumping in this Nicky, trying to pick up Shappy in the lobby area.
What?
Ab's full HP. There's
is
so much
happening?
damage being exchanged. There's chaos, absolute chaos here, Ben. man.
This might be happening. Am's already there on the last point, very, very aggressive. There was a bit of a block there 1 second, but now there's only 3 players left. Am's there, Nikki there, Yorn trying to be there to block this point. The Heavy's there too. Are they going to hang on? There's not enough health points left. DTR, they're going to take it. And so less than a minute left, and we are going to go to Golden Cap. What a crazy comeback this has been. But the brawls have been on point. The Amzu has been on point. The coordinated play has come together at the perfect timings for DTR. They fight on, and they are going to fight on to a Golden Cap.
I absolutely love this. This has been such an amazing, pleasurable game just to watch and observe what these teams are doing. I mean, both teams just pulling insane tricks from their sleeves every single round. And now we're going to be looking at yet another round. Like you said, it's just kind of dead time at the moment. It's going to be Golden Cap. So I'm just excited for it at this point. Let's see what each of the teams, I mean, I can't really even say who will win this one because it could be anyone's. Of course, DTR are fighting for those 3 points. You know, they want to get those 3 points in the standings. They want to kind of advance more. But Garda is also looking to pick up some points. They want to walk away from this one with full-on 6-0 wash. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Let it be known, this game has like massive playoff implications. Like, and obviously, like DTR, like I said at the start, there is a world where they can come back, like, and get into playoffs. But like, it's unlikely. Garda, on the other hand, like they were in playoffs last season. They are like hoping to be right back there, but there's like such a big competition that like if they drop potentially 2 points, they won't drop 1 point because, you know, going to a Golden Cap, they're going to get a max 2 points for this map. So that means that that Garda are at best getting 5 from this. If they were to get 4 instead, that's kind of crushing it for their hopes, and then maybe they're going to struggle to get caught up to the rest of those teams because it's such a fierce competition around the middle of the pack going for that 4th spot. But what an utterly mad series of Snakewater this has been. All the back and forth, the clutch ups from both these teams, some crazy plays. Like, I don't know, like Theos, like you're like there's the weapon for the Heavy where when you go like under half health you get like resistance. I feel like Theos has that because Theos just like lives on like sub half HP like for so long, and I don't know how they do it at all, but it's beautiful to watch the movement, the juking, they're like getting body locked behind teammates. It leads to some mad scenarios, but on the other side of things, like I don't know, the flank plays, the Ubers from AMS, they've been so good.
Yeah, the scout Ubers coming out of DTR, absolutely phenomenal. I love them every single time they happen. Seeing Amps and seeing Smile just coming in together, followed by Seeger, and then you have soldiers bombing in from the sides. It's just like beautiful. Like you could fully animate this in SFM and it would look gorgeous. But it's just great because it works out for them. Scouts are really strong for DTR, and especially Amps, who's the team lead. He knows what he's doing, and kind of following him up and letting him just do his work is just paying dividends. It's really working out. And what you said before about Theos just surviving at basically half HP this entire game, he's not crossed over 100 HP. It's awesome. And I mean, I love to see it. It just comes from an old school medic school of basically saying, hey, it's like I have 149 more health than I need to survive. So what's there to be worried about, right? Like, you're just gonna dance around, jump around, maybe surf a rocket or two, get health back, get back in there. But at the same time, Seeger, I mean, I've seen him play before in one of the games against Samicot, and I'm seeing him now, and like I love seeing those medics play at such a high level.
Yeah, it's been great stuff. Well, we are about to be going live with Golden Cap in a moment, but one thing that this Golden Cap is, of course, going to start with is a mid-fight. And these mid-fights, they're like, I feel like in the middle of the game, DTR kind of had it figured out when Garda were going for these early double bombs every time, and they kind of got back into it. But now when it's slowed down towards the later part of the game, I've seen like Garda get so much more success. And again, even the last one when they snuck that play around lower, just lapsing concentration gets the drop. Like, I don't know, this mid-fight could decide it. We know with Snake, it's potentially the easiest way to get around, but I don't know, off these mid-fights, Garda could be looking pretty good because I think they've been the better team on these mids so far.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can definitely see that Shappy is faster than mid, which means he's able to lay down more damage faster than Davey does. And that is already quite of a big difference. Then you have the soldiers jumping in at the same exact time. Even if they get somewhat stopped by the scouts, they still are a huge threat to the enemy medic. And of course, Seeger needs to stay alive doing all this, track all the friendly health and the enemy positioning. There's a lot of chaos happening, but now we're back. Golden Cap here on Snakewater, DTR versus Garda. It's do or die. Let's see how it goes. Shappy once again quite fast, takes a lot of damage for his trouble, but he's quite fast there. And so is now Davey on the middle, exchanging stickies left, right, and center. Let's see how this one roll pans out, Ben.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty slow start so far from Garda. Just going for the usual of just playing top left and just trying to turtle up, just getting ready for this punish. DTR, they're taking the space, they're crawling forward. PCDC going to jump up to top right, try and get some spam rockets in and across, as it's just this poking approach. It's like the previous bit that we just saw, but PCDC oversteps and is caught out by the sticky bombs from Shappy. Yawn going to jump across and in, and now we see DTR. There's no messing at all. They're out, but they're not out quick enough. Davey getting caught in saw. This is a nightmare scenario now for DTR, losing their demo so late. Second point is going to flip, and Davey still another 10 seconds away. There's potential to even pressure into last, perhaps for a force if they really want to.
Yeah, they really are looking for it. Bud is jumping and looking for a force, but Seeger's all the way back in spawn, and I don't think Bud realized how far back the medic is. They were not waiting around. Yeah, they didn't have the second point, but they were expecting this really hard, aggressive push coming out of the Garda, and predicted it and stopped it dead in its tracks. So losing one soldier there, Garda. But now both medics have 100%. Second point belongs to Garda right now. They are kind of hanging back. You know, it is Golden Cap. They're not really in a rush, and they don't want to make a mistake. Like, this is going to cost them if they do. They're just going to play it a little bit more safe this time around. Peter DC is coming in on the flank, you know, looking for put some damage in the lobby, but he only sees Jan, who is the forwardmost person on Garda's team. They are so far back. They are really not risking it. But now, finally, I think the call comes out. They're pushing in, looking to secure some position. They see the sticky trap on the flank here on the open door. Shutter's currently not protected by anyone from DTR. Just Peter DC looking down at it.
Yeah, this is where it gets a lot harder to try and break in. They had their first chance where there was no demo, no level 3 gun built up in the gun spot on the grass just that sees everything. So now they're going to have to play this the hard way over on Garda's side, and they're being punished as Yarlin oversteps there on the sniper, as Nikki is maybe even going in for something more as well through lobby. Gets onto Shappy. Oh my me, what on earth is going on in lobby?
Yeah, that's big, actually. That's a good pickup. That's no demo man for the enemy team. Now they're pushing in. They're not afraid to just take some damage here. Seeger being following up. A huge shot here by Bud, but giving Nikki a bit of airtime, and that is going to be it to get that force out on Theos. Now they're trying to use this Uber charge with the two scouts as fast as they can. Yon jumping in, but Seeger's already protected by the sentry gun. That is huge, and that means Seeger now has 100% advantage over Theos. Jan and Bud are missing from the battle right now, and well, DTR should use this circumstance and just push in a second, get that extra point, because it's going to be quite big for them. But it's only Davey who is forward. They're going to push in now. They were waiting for the respawn. They want to play it safe still. But huge bomb, but no, he's going to be stopped.
This is where it can go wrong. This can go wrong in so many different ways. This pushing, and it seems like Seeger getting bombed in. I thought that could have been the way he could have done, but Seeger has to get forced out. So many players dying for it though. 2 soldiers and Peter DC falling, and now Shappy getting called to. That's a really big frag coming in, because otherwise there could have been recommit potential. As now Juxta's going in for the hell. Juxta! Oh my!
Juxta just coming in. He was just unseen there in the lobby area, in the saw, goes through the window after hearing the medic, and it just goes for him. 2 shots is all it takes, and that means Seeger's down for the count, giving Theos full advantage. Middle point hasn't been capped. Second has been secured by DTR, but Smiles on the point by himself. No, Davies just there in the back line, but he's gonna have to get out. No, he's getting blocked out, juggled in the air. Now he's getting chased down by the scout. He's gonna have to take this fight, and of course he's gonna lose this one to Yalen. He's not going to waste any time. Now coming in is Jan, Shappy, Theos, pushing in forward. They're not really going to wait too much. They're going to try to use this Uber advantage as fast as possible, only leaving a scout on the point. They're pushing in through lobby now, Ben.
Oh, this is dicey. This is what I say, things can go wrong, and getting forced like that when you don't get understanding medic. I know, of course, they got caught out by that flank from Juxta as well, but it's so dangerous as now the Uber charge is in, the bombs come across the point. Shappy trying to get onto this gun, finally taken down. There's players barreling out of this right-hand spawn on the defending side, but they're just not quick enough. And Garda, they take it in Golden Cap off of the tried and tested push out equals big mistake. It just didn't work out on the push. And credit to Juxta, of course, for the flank play, but the push out just wasn't quite there from DTR, and they're punished. And again, the Uberad, like we've seen before, Garda, they've been so clinical with these Uberads. It's been great to see from them, both on Sunshine and on Snakewater. They've maybe messed a couple of them up, but they've had so many chances and taken so many of them that, yeah, great stuff. And again, odds on to take it at the end, and they do.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do deserve to win this game. You know, they drop 1 point here, which I think DTR should not feel too sour about, because I do think that DTR has played an amazing game of Team Fortress 2 here. Yeah, they didn't quite manage to get the results the same way they expected it to, but at the same time, like, I love the stuff that I was seeing from them. I love the plays. I love the the amazing like combinations of two scouts and the medic just pushing on the advantage they have. They're not really waiting. They know when to stop and play defensively. They know when to push again. But Garda, like it's just the results do not lie, as it shows, right? Like they managed to get this one. They had the skill. They had great plays in Juxta with that medic pick. Yeah, of course, he was punishing at a mistake, but he also could have just failed at that, and that meant that Seeger was alive, and that could have been completely different.
It was an absolutely instant 2-shot on the medic. So like, absolutely phenomenal stuff. And we might be getting some logs up on screen. And there's one stat which is sitting at the very, very top of these logs, which I think my eyes have been drawn to it. I wonder if yours are too. And perhaps
I'm looking
the chat,
at it, and I can't believe it, man. It's amps.
They call it the Amzuba for a reason, right? And like the Amzuba, like it had a lot of use in this Snakewater game, and it had some great value.
Yeah, like bang for buck there is through the roof when it comes to Amzubers, and it just shows 38 kills, 10 more than Yalan Yon and Juxta. But at the same time, it's kind of the repeat of the last round if you really think about it. Again, flank for Garda, insane like play and coordination. Yalan getting a lot of kills and damage done, Yon and Juxta, all of them playing on the flank, playing really well, supporting each other and taking the right positioning, distractions and stuff like that. Of course, Shappy a little bit trailing behind, and so is Davey. The demos were not really that crucial in this game. It's more of a deterrent, I feel like. They were getting quite a lot of damage done, but they were more serving as a deterrent. It was definitely, like, from both sides, from both DTR and Garda, it was the scout and soldier show through and through. And we can't forget about the medic plays, though. Like, I will always, like, I love seeing Theos and Seeker play.
Yeah, 4 and 7 on medic. Honestly, like that. I don't know. After the first map, I was thinking, I don't know. The first map was obviously DTR's pick. They get 5-0'd, and they had like one chance to turn the game round at 2-0 down. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, you know what, this might be series over. Maybe the mental just falls apart on DTR, but they fought back, and they fought back so valiantly. Remember, they got that round with 1 minute left to equalize things out and send it to a golden cap in the first place. But in golden cap, it was just a couple of good plays there from Garda that were able to punish. And what a phenomenal game of Snakewater that was. And like Garda, we said before that they needed their points. They got 5 points from this one. That is certainly going to put them in a good spot looking forward for potentially getting into playoffs. For DTR, they are probably mathematically out of the running now at the bottom of the table, but like, I don't know, it's showing, like, I don't know, especially I've noticed since like the last few seasons, basically since Witness stopped playing, these teams coming up, like they're having a fight with everyone. There's teams coming in, and like there's not been a team that's gone like 0-7 the entire series, like for quite a while. Like teams are coming in and battling.
There's no like complete beatdown on any of the teams. It's like, yeah, sure, DTR is getting, let's say, bullied by the rest of the table, but they are taking shots as well. They're taking chunks here or there, and I think that's huge. Considering they just got to Prem, right? They advanced from Prem from last season from Div 1. I think it really speaks a lot. You may be last, but you really shouldn't feel bad about this, because like the way you guys play and the fact that you're taking chunks out of the teams that are considered to be favorites in every matchup, like, just keep at it, guys. Like, I gotta say, and the same thing goes, just download the demo from this game and watch it. Just watch it from every single perspective, because there's so much to learn. So much to learn for anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, looking forward from this one, Garda, they've got a really, really big game next week. They're playing Samakot next week, and Samakot currently sitting at 4th place in the division, so that's an absolutely massive one. I say that as well because the last game's against Mandem, and I don't know, I do say every game's a 50-50 with Garda, which it kind of is still, but I think the Mandem one might be a bridge too far for that one potentially. So Garda, if they want to make a last-minute surge for the for playoffs, like, going to have to be winning out from now. They've already won out 1. Okay, 1 point got dropped against DTR, but Samakot next week is going to be a big one. But I think for this week, I think all the games are done. There was potentially the 4th game, which might be getting scheduled. Did that happen tonight? I'm not too sure, but that's we're hearing it's been rescheduled as the 4th game against the Pepper's Pizza Party, potentially for next week. But
yeah, it looks like it.
I am exhausted. That has been my head's racing after that crazy game. Any final shout outs?
Absolutely great stuff. But yeah, that is it, basically. It was an amazing pleasure to cast this game with you, Ben. It was an
Oh, it's
ultimate
been good.
pleasure. It was awesome to watch these two teams just duke it out. And of course, huge thanks to JMax for producing this amazing show. But that is going to be it for tonight, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting. We're going to see you next time.